Well, one of the things that I've talked to about with some pretty insanely brilliant people is quantum computing.
Oh, yes.
And this new Google quantum computer that can do essentially the way a quantum computer works, a problem that would take thousands of years for every computer on Earth to solve.
I've read that.
It can solve in a second.
Yeah.
Something that can take more years than you literally can understand. It could be solved in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I read that.
It's insane. And this is where it gets really weird. The way it was explained to me, and we should have to Google how quantum computers work and why people connect them to the multiverse so I don't fuck this up. But the idea is that they're pulling answers from different universes simultaneously. They don't even completely understand how this is working. But the amount of power in computing is incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Like you're only looking at it and there's numbers, you could write all those numbers out, but your brain's not capable of grasping really what's going on. Yeah. And it's probably the biggest breakthrough technologically in human history by a long stretch. And it's all happening without most people even being aware of what the implications are. So see if you can Google an explanation of how quantum computers work. Was it Mark Andreessen that was explaining to us that it's pulling from different universes?
No, that
Who was that?
Being talked about in the wording of the Willow description.
Right.
But I also, just to add, when I was reading about this, they said that these benchmark numbers are coming off of Google's own data. Like they're the ones that set like the scale of what some of the quantum.
Are you skeptical? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just
Are you calling bullshit on Google?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Not
at all.
Is.
No. I'm just a grain of salt, like just to say that, like I think they used tillions is the number or something like that.
Septillion.
That no one even can grasp that.
Yeah,
that's just based, but that's a number based off of their formula too.
Right.
That's all.
Right. What is the definition of how it works? The way it pulls from multi universes.
I think I'm trying to find it, but I think the understanding I got from it was it's just too powerful to get from our universe alone. You'd have to have more than one, and I don't like. That's just
like what does that mean?
How do they even
exactly? What does that mean? Right. What is that thing that they have? And if you ever seen the chip itself is very small.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a saltine cracker.
Yeah.
And then this entire mechanism around it is just the insane amount of cooling. Okay. Google's quantum AI founder said the performance gains lends credence to the idea that we live in a multiverse. The idea is that Willow might be communicating with parallel universes to finish calculations faster. Like what does that mean? The announcement led Google's already high stock price to surge, which isn't that shocking, but perhaps most surprising for us lay people that Google's quantum AI founder and lead Harmut Nevin said that the chip's performance lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes in line with the idea that we live in a multiverse. And then it says, excuse me? This obviously has caused a bit of a stir and it isn't exactly clear on how he made that leap. It sounds a bit like something out of a sci-fi movie, and I'm definitely not going to pretend I'm an expert, but it's worth pointing out that Google is very much still in the theoretical research phase of this journey. This is very weird stuff. An evolving scientific field that even people working on it don't fully understand.
3 hours later.
Okay, so this is what it is. One of the world's most advanced classical computers. Okay, here it is with this problem. So AI's founder and lead, Hartmut Nevin, said that the new chip had performed a purposefully complicated exercise called a random circuit sampling benchmark in 5 minutes. One of the world's most advanced classical supercomputers, on the other hand, it would take 10 and then 3 zeros, 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 3 zeros. Years to perform the same exercise. That's 10 septillion years, which exceeds known time scales in physics and vastly exceeds the age of the universe. So it can do more time than vastly exceeds the entire age of the universe, and it can do it in 5 minutes. And the reason it could achieve such a monumental improvement in calculating capacity is because Willow is made up of 105 qubits and contract the potential of each of those at once, allowing it to record potential data much faster and come to the right answer sooner. So, like, what is happening?
That's too much information.
What do you mean?
I get it, but I don't get it.
I don't get, how does that prove the multiverse or provide evidence that the multiverse is real, like, and that it's getting it from parallel universes? Like, what are we even saying here?
It couldn't come up with those answers within the allotted time span. That's
what?
I can't even explain. I mean, funnily enough, this is that my brother's into all of this stuff. Sean, he's
in simpler language.
He would probably be able to explain it to you, Sean.
Probably.
He's like
he would give it a shot.
He would, certainly.
I think he was the one that was probably explaining it to us. In simpler language, Willow is doing one calculation while an unknown number of Willows in other universes parallel to our own are doing their own calculations, and they are sharing that data to avoid needing to individually do every possible calculation to finish the equation. What the fuck does that mean? How are they sharing data between universes? I don't know. Ask Nevin. Remember, this is all theoretical and doesn't prove anything, but Nevin is saying that the fact that the chip can outperform our best supercomputers by such a wide margin means that it might have broken Newton's theory of physics. Yo, what does it say under that, Jamie?
What does this mean for me?
Keep that going. Put that back on. Scroll up a little bit.
It's right here.
Okay, this is what I wanted to look at. At this point, it's an exciting look at what computing might take one day, but it isn't something you're going to see in your next Pixel phone. Quantum chips need to be isolated in incredibly specific chambers. Yeah, this is the thing. It has to be cool to a point where it's colder than outer space, sealed away from any possible signals such as microwaves, radiation, radio signals, etc., for fear of that noise leading to potential mistakes, and have specific signals delivered by purpose-built wires. Who figured this out? Where are those eggheads? Jesus Christ.
How did they even come up with that, if that has to be the case? I don't...
How did they figure out that you have to do that? All of it.
That's just brain damage.
That's one of the most humbling things that I've found about doing this podcast, is realizing how genuinely dumb we are in comparison to the amount of information that's available.
No question.